And it looks like the San Francisco 49ers are right back to where they were looking prior to that week 9 bye and those 3-game consecutive losses. That's right, the San Francisco 49ers bring home another win in week 11 with a victory of 27-14 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Rokita, right here back at it again with you on the Onstage Plus TV network, ready to bring you your NFL highlights. So look, if this is your first time joining me, I'd like to say welcome. Come on in. If you've been here before and you've seen the show, then you already know these highlights you're going to get my way. And of course, what's that way? What a little bit of San Francisco 49er twist. That's right, folks. Here we are, week 11. I'm ready. Let's get into this Rose Corner. All right. So now, here we go. With that being said, we're talking about San Francisco 49ers here. Currently number 1 in the NFC West, holding that spot with now a record of 7-3. We've beat 2 teams after coming off that bye, which obviously was a much-needed bye. And we just happened to play 2 teams that came from the same state, the Sunshine State of Florida. That's right. 49ers played the Jacksonville Jaguars last week in week 10, which was a blowout, 24-24, 34-3. And now we see them coming into week 11, coming off of week 11 with a victory of 27-14 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And look, I got to say, this probably was one of the best games that Purdy had in a very long time. If you don't believe me, you don't have to believe me. You can always believe the quarterback rating that he received from this game. Phenomenal game. Look, it's no wonder why they are the number 1 team in the NFC West right now. They have a phenomenal coach with Kyle Shanahan. They've got weapons, all kinds of ammunition on both sides of that ball. So this team should be leading the NFC West. And, the 3 back-to-back losses, okay, so we lost. But that is not unfamiliar territory with us. For any of you 49er fans out there, then you know we've done that before. We've started a few seasons 5-0, 7-0, and then here we go with the 2-3 game losing streak and still able to make it into the NFC Championship and also make it to the Super Bowl with the same record. So look, us 49er fans, we are not worried about those losses at all. What I do love, though, and want to talk about is this Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. Purdy had one of the best games ever. And ironically, here we have Tampa Bay coming to Levi Stadium, which was also the team they played when Purdy made his first debut on the field. So he currently holds a record of 2-0 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And absolutely worthy of that. This man completed 21 of 25 passes for 330 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now, the score was 24-17. Last week, the Jaguars, it was like 34-3 blowout. But this game was just about a perfect performance with Brock Purdy. And his passer rating was 158.3, which happens to be one of the highest rating that a quarterback can receive. So for those of you that aren't really familiar with that, the passer rating is a quarterback rating. And so anytime the quarterback throws the ball, and it's just for passing, nothing else is calculated into that. Any player can do a passer rating that passes the ball, but this one is for the quarterbacks. And this score that he was rated shows he played pretty much a perfect game. He played a smart game. He was so focused and so calm in the pocket. I mean, just a great game. Overall, phenomenal performance. He absolutely deserved that grade. But look, he couldn't have that grade if he didn't have what he had on that team. I mean, that team is a powerhouse team. And I know, okay, maybe I might be being a little bit biased because it is my team, but you cannot help but look at all the weapons that are on that San Francisco 49er team, both offense and defense. Okay, let's just start by this game. Let's pick apart the game. Here we go. Christian McCaffrey, first one up on the field. This man has 21 carries, 78 yards. He's just about impossible to stop and a touchdown. So, longest scoring streak he had prior to week 10 actually ended in week 10. Christian McCaffrey, I got to say. He was going for a record of trying to beat Lenny Moore's record. Halfback Lenny Moore held a record of 18 consecutive games where he scored. And this was what, between 1963 and 1965. So Christian McCaffrey was next. He actually was getting ready to break that record, but he stopped in week 10 at 17 consecutive games because he did not score that game. So unfortunately, he didn't break that record. However, he did break a record. Yes, he broke Roger Craig's record of scoring 4 consecutive touchdowns against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So there it is. Within the organization, he broke a record. Nonetheless, look, McCaffrey is the guy, and he has been a phenomenal addition to that San Francisco 49er team ever since he was drafted or traded from the 2002 Carolina Panthers. So we are happy to have him as one of the sources that made a big impact in that game. Another player that made a big impact in that game that's always making my boy Purdy look good is one of the best tight ends in the league. My man, George Kittle. I mean, look, that duo, that pair is quite the duo. I got to say, he had 8 catches for 89 yards and 1 touchdown. And I think the best one was that little 3-yard dip into the back of the end zone. I don't think anybody even seen him standing there waiting for that ball. But again, phenomenal play, phenomenal player, one of the best tight ends in the league on the San Francisco 49ers. How can you not give it up for that man? Another go-to, Purdy hit all game long with 5 catches. That was my man, Brandon Aiyuk. Look, this kid has become a phenomenal receiver. And when I say he is dependable and consistent, he is consistent in this 49er passing game. I got to get it up to him. Also got to give it up to Purdy because he actually did break a record. He did break a record, his own personal record with his longest passing touchdown, just being last week, week 10 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which was 66 yards. That was a career high for Brock Purdy. And here he turns around the very next game and breaks that record with a 76-yard pass to Brandon Aiyuk at the 40-yard line where he catches it. Basically, perfectly designed play, drops right in Aiyuk's hand. And what does he do? He walks in the end zone pretty much untouched. That, I'm telling you, one of the best plays. Brandon Aiyuk, 5 times targeted by Purdy, 156 yards and a touchdown. It doesn't get any better than that. When I say weapons, that's what I mean. The San Francisco 49ers are covered in weapons, not to mention Deebo Samuels. We had a rookie player, Jair Brown, that came out and made a statement. I mean, we are talking about both sides of the ball. I mean, that was actually just offense right there. We haven't even got on the defense side of the San Francisco 49ers. And I got to tell you, this game absolutely stood out from most of their games. One, not only because did Purdy meet this passing rate and get this high rating, but our kicker, Jake Moody, he made every field goal, 2 field goals, one for 37 yards, and I think one for like 24 yards, and every PAT. That's the first game he's done that in, folks. Look, I'm not going to lie. I was a little worried in the beginning. I was worried about Jake Moody. Why? Because he had missed a couple of key field goals in the beginning of the season. And so, he had me questioning, why on earth did we get rid of Robbie Gould? Why did we let him walk away as a free agent? I still got some questions about that. However, Jake Moody did his thing. He has turned his game around, and he has absolutely showed up for the San Francisco 49ers when they have needed him, and he proved that in this game. See? Look at him. Look at us. There we go. 49ers. Weapons after weapons after weapons. On the other side, now we've got the defense. We haven't even talked about the defense yet. So let's talk about the defense, okay? 49ers, look, the pass rush, you just can't deny it because it's top game. We're not letting these teams get anywhere. It's top tier, top passing rush game. San Francisco 49ers, 2 weeks in a row, bringing the heat. We are forcing turnovers. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, both had opportunities, both had sacks, turning over the ball. Like, that's what we do on that side of the ball. So Warner forced the ball loose. And guess what? Our linemen, look, let me just stop for a moment. Our linemen, our O-men, and our defensive linemen. Cleveland Farrell picks it up, recovers the ball. Like, we have that line on both sides of the ball that you absolutely cannot deny, making the 49ers, I'm telling you, a championship team. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the NFC Championship. We're going to win again, and we're going to the Super Bowl this year. As long as everyone stays healthy, okay? Because, that happens, injuries. We hope everybody stays injury-free and makes it. We're at a pivotal time in the season right now. Yes, we still have 6-7 weeks of football regular season to be played, but I am 49er faithful, and I believe that this team is going to the Super Bowl this year. Mark my words. But here we go, back to the game. So we see all these forced turnovers. We see Jair Brown, a rookie coming off the bench, making a debut, making a statement in the game. And he had 2 back-to-back plays where he forced the ball and then gets an interception in the end zone. So, despite the fact that he actually got burnt a couple plays before then by Tampa Bay, he absolutely made that up with that catch inside the end zone. So, there you have it. Eric Armstead, second half, amazing game. You cannot put anything past this team. Needless to say, the San Francisco 49ers are that team. Kyle Shanahan is that coach. He has all those weapons. One of the best running backs, Christian McCaffrey, best tight end, George Kittle, Deebo Samuels, receivers, Brandon Aiyuk. You've got your defensive team. This makes for a Super Bowl championship team, folks. Mark my words. We are going to the Super Bowl. Right? Right. All right. So what's coming up? Right now, again, San Francisco 49ers. We're going into week 12 as they lead the NFC West, followed right behind by the Seattle Seahawks. They are in second place. And hey, check this out. We play the Seattle Seahawks this Thursday. Yes, that is your Thursday night, your turkey night, your Thanksgiving Day evening game. The San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks will battle on that night. So make sure you are paying attention to that game because, there's 3 games that day. So you're going to wake up in the morning, prepare your Thanksgiving. You're going to start with the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. And then after you're done and you've ate, while you're eating, you're going to watch the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys play because they always get prime time on Thanksgiving Day. And then after that, you're going to eat again. You might even take a nap and fall asleep, but you will wake up and you will wake up to eat again while watching the San Francisco 49ers take on the Seattle Seahawks. That is going to be week 12, your Thanksgiving Day game. What else can I say? There's nothing better than Thanksgiving Day. Well, no, I take that back. Thanksgiving football always been one of the best. But this year, what could get better than Thanksgiving Day games is a Black Friday football game. This is the first ever season that Amazon Prime, give it to Amazon, of course, coming through, not with just the Thursday night football, but with a Black Friday football game. And not just any game, the New York Jets and the Miami Dolphins. So basically, we're going to have this big old AFC championship. Okay, not championship, but AFC showdown game on Black Friday. What gets better than that other than Black Friday? But Black Friday isn't really like Black Friday used to be. I mean, we can Black Friday now. We can Black Friday online. Remember when Black Friday you used to actually have to go to the store and wait in line outside, camp out if you wanted those amazing deals, and then wait for the store to open up at 5:30 in the morning for everybody to rush in to get that Black Friday special. Well, guess what? You don't have to rush anymore. You can do everything right there on your phone, on your computer. You can order. I already have stuff in my cart for Black Friday from everywhere. So I don't need that. But what I absolutely do need is a Black Friday football game. You know why? It'll also keep me in the house from trying to do any Black Friday shopping. So first time ever, Black Friday football game, New York Jets, Miami Dolphins. It's about to be a showdown, folks. So make sure you watch that. That is going to be next week in week 12. But let's finish up week 11. Okay, week 11. Another great game for week 11, I would say. The Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. That was actually a good game, 33-10. Cleveland Browns pulled off a last-minute victory as well, 13-10 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think my favorite game of the day on Sunday was the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. Detroit Lions win that game 31-26. Jared Goff did an amazing job in this game. I mean, when I say it came down to the last quarter and this dude was moving that team down the field, that's absolutely what he did. Best play of the game, 32-yard touchdown to Jameson Williams. That pretty much brought back the game. That pretty much won the game and brought back the Detroit Lions. 11 plays later, David Montgomery gets in the end zone, seals the game. There we go. The Lions were actually down in this game, 24-16. They were down. So they managed to come back. For me, though, although the Lions won this game, I actually think the better game went to the Chicago Bears. I'm a Justin Fields fan, and I think this was probably his most phenomenal game that he has played this season. And although they didn't win, Justin Fields actually won. He played an amazing game, completed 16 of 23 passes, 169 yards, but ran for over 140 yards. He ran for over 140 yards. Look, say what y'all want to say about this kid. Everybody's talking, thinking that the Bears are going to get rid of him. He's not going anywhere. He is like any phenomenal quarterback right now. He's starting exactly where he needs to be starting. All great quarterbacks have started somewhere. And my man Justin Fields is starting where he needs to be started. He had no interceptions in this game, no forced fumbles. He was sacked a couple times, but ironically, this game was his lowest sacks of any game, which was just 2. Because, yeah, he does have a little history of being sacked several times in one game, but I don't blame him. I blame his line. This time he managed to scramble and get on out of that pocket. Obviously, 144 yards, and we see him with only 2 sacks in this game. So for me, yes, they could have played better. They probably should have won that game, but Justin Fields played a pretty good game, especially for his career. I think he played a great game. Another great game was the Miami Dolphins and Las Vegas Raiders. The Dolphins beat the Raiders 20-13. Raiders probably should have won that game. I will have to say both teams made quite a few mistakes in that game on both sides of the ball. But at the end of the day, Tua Tagovailoa came through, did what he had to do, 28 of 39 passes, 325 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have an interception, but, I mean, what do you say? Phenomenal game. Raheem Mostert, although he did not score that game, he had 86 yards running, so phenomenal game for him as well. Tyreek Hill, 10 catches, 146 yards, 1 touchdown. That's why they're winning. Tyreek Hill. I mean, outside of other things. But look, this man's up for MVP this year. I absolutely think he is a great contender for MVP. He is doing what he needs to do for that team. making Tua Tagovailoa look as good as he looks as well. And then our Sunday night game wrapped up with, of course, a really good game against the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, Broncos pull out that victory with a 21-0 win, killing the Minnesota Vikings 5-game winning streak. Shut that down. Shut it down. Yes, the Minnesota Vikings, 5 games in a row. But here we see Russell Wilson doing what he does so well, being the man that he is for the Denver Broncos, and they pull off this win. 21-0 with 1 minute left. Josh Dobbs didn't do too bad this game. 20 of 32 passes for 221 yards. 1 touchdown. He did have an interception. But Russell Wilson completed 27 of 35 passes, 259 yards, and 1 touchdown. So this game absolutely came down to the last wire, the very last moments in the fourth quarter. And Denver was able to hold on to that win. So congratulations to the Denver Broncos for winning. All right. Well, look, I think that's it, folks. I think that is pretty much my time. There's your NFL scores around the league. So, yeah. Anything else that we need to cover? Remember, Thanksgiving Day, the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks will battle it off that evening. San Francisco 49ers actually played the Seattle Seahawks in week 14 as well. So here we go. Week 12, we play the Seattle Seahawks. Thanksgiving, week 13, we battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the number 1 team. That's all right. In the East, and actually in the league right now, is the Philadelphia Eagles, who pulled out an amazing victory on Monday Night Football. Look, Kansas City Chiefs, I actually thought had that game, but I got to say, with all them sacks on Jalen Hurts, woo, I was worried. I was a little worried, but nonetheless, they pulled off this game. And this, folks, was your Super Bowl rematch from February just of this year, Super Bowl 56. Your Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs played. They battled it out, and here we've seen Jalen Hurts take this victory. So, look, phenomenal week of football, week 11. Here we go, week 12. Thanksgiving, one of the best times for football. Holidays are coming. Before we know it, the playoffs will be here, and we'll be celebrating another Super Bowl. But until then, folks, I would like to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you are all able to spend this Thanksgiving with your loved ones. I hope you are able to pour into those that may be less fortunate and spread a little more love and joy around. And I hope you're able to remember the loved ones that we've lost that are not here to celebrate these holidays, because I know for myself, this is a tough time, as I lost my mother a couple of years ago. And she was the biggest 49er fan. That's where I get it from. That's why it's in my veins. It comes from my mama. She get it from her mama. But rest in peace to my beautiful mother, Dolores. She was definitely a 49er fan, and Thanksgiving was her favorite holiday. So we, as a family, will continue her legacy. I do this for her, and we will celebrate in her honor. So you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Meet me right back here on the OnStage Plus network, where you can find them on any of your major streaming sites like Amazon, Roku, wherever they're streaming. The OnStage Plus TV network will be there, and that's where you will find me in Rose Corner. So thank you all so much. I will see you next week, week